Let's say a fictional CEO called Jimmy wants to avoid paying billions in taxes on the profits of his company and food and stuff. First, he would create an anonymous shell company, which is a company that exists only on paper in somewhere like the Cayman Islands or Bermuda. Taxes in these places are 0% or near that, and the identity of the company's owner is secret. He then opens an account in Switzerland under the name of that shell company. Food and Stuff then pays that shell company for fictional services like the purchase of patents or some consulting. Payment is then sent to the account in Switzerland. And now, the taxable profits on Food and Stuff in the US plummet because of all that expensive consulting, while the company in the Caymans technically makes millions and pays no taxes, and all the money is in the Swiss account that can now earn Jimmy more money through investing or simply earning interest. When Food and Stuff needs money, it can just take out a loan from that company in the Caymans. So money Jimmy made in Tokyo or New York is subject to taxes in the Caymans and stored in some account in Switzerland. Google uses a more advanced version of this strategy, and in 2015, $15.5 billion in profits made their way to Google Ireland Holdings in Bermuda, where it was taxed at 0%.
The leader of a Canadian multinational has just declared his company's income. The finances of the multinational corporation, let's call it MNC, are healthy. The company will therefore pay tax. However, thanks to a multitude of accounting tricks thought of by creative tax experts, the company is able to disguise part of its profits and reduce its tax bill. Is it a magic trick? In fact, it's an illusion. The MNC channels its capital through fiscal paradises, where it has set up subsidiaries. Thanks to their insignificant tax rates, lack of regulations, and banking secrecy, these states, fiscal paradises, provide very enticing opportunities for companies. Canada has signed tax treaties with some of these states, whereby enterprises that have set up business there can avoid paying taxes both there and at home. This is how MNC can declare a hefty share of its profits in these fiscal oases with total impunity. Does all that seem very complicated? It isn't. Among the many ploys used by both enterprises and individuals, here is a classic one. Let's say MNC produces telephones in its factory. To do so, it benefits from our infrastructure, our legal system, and, of course, our healthy and well-trained workforce. MNC received an order of 1,000 telephones from a European client. It sells them at $1 each to its subsidiary, MNC Caribbean, which in reality is a small office on a small island. MNC Caribbean sells the product on to the European client for its real price, let's say $25 each. Not one single telephone has actually transited through the Caribbean, yet MNC Caribbean has made a profit of $24,000. The subsidiary of the Canadian company must soon pay its taxes. How much? $240 because, on this island, the tax rate is 1% of profit. MNC Caribbean can therefore pay $23,760 to multinational Canada. MNC will not have to pay a tax here because its profits have already been taxed in the Caribbean island. A treaty signed by our government with this island prevents double taxation. MNC will therefore be able to redistribute this money to its shareholders. The now richer shareholders will, in turn, be able to put this money into other offshore companies, which will ensure it makes even more profit without the government being able to say anything. And that is why fiscal paradises occupy 5 of the top 8 locations for Canadian investment abroad. In order to provide quality public services in health, education, environmental protection, and security, the state asks that everyone pay their fair share of tax. But is this really the case? In fact, astronomical sums evade the public treasury, and our governments are complicit in this. It is estimated that half of the capital circulating around the planet today is channeled through fiscal paradises. Everyone must pay their fair share of tax. It is high time governments stopped burying their heads in the sand. Tackling tax havens is quite simply a matter of social justice.